way to find the sun. Tell me all that you may know.
And just before I start that, I'm going to show you our new view from the back of the boat. Look at that. You couldn't get a more perfect view. I mean, it's a little cloudy today and we've had a tiny bit of rain. We can watch the weather coming over. I don't think there can be a better view in the country from a narrowboat as this one. Gorgeous. Anyway, today we're taking you into Buxton, which we've never been to before. And if you don't know about Buxton, it's where famous spring water comes from. So we've taken a couple of flasks with us so that we can fill up. And they have what's called like a quirky once a month fair in there today, so we'll go and see that. And we're just going to walk down to the main road to get the bus. Really nice little walk, I'll show you as we go. People who come on this canal generally tend to go down towards the end, Bugsbrook. Is it Bugsbrook? Or Whaley Bridge. But we sort of prefer it halfway along because you can cycle to New Mills or to Marple. Are you cycling up the side?
Well, yeah, on a normal day I would, but you know.
Of course. Where was I? Can't remember. Anyway, this is the way down to the main road. Gorgeous little copse. I only discovered this yesterday. It's not signed at the bottom at all, so I just discovered it on my ordnance survey. And it goes up that way, I guess, to Disley or something, not sure. But we're going down this way. Beautiful cottage hidden halfway down. Really solid. A convenient bench for moments of repose. Looking out over the peaks. And there's a walk into Springfield Copse owned by the Woodland Trust, which we only saw yesterday, so we've yet to explore that. And now we're coming down to the main road to get the bus from. How about that for a walk to your local bus stop? Well, we've landed in Buxton after a wonderful bike ride, had breakfast. The market was a bit of a disappointment, only a few stalls, nothing very quirky. But we're in a wonderful Scrivener's or second-hand bookshop. We're looking for a couple of books. I don't think we're going to find them in here, but it's my happy place, somewhere like this. We've just left the Scrivener's. We've actually found another second-hand bookshop we're going to have a quick look in. And then we're going to go and find some water at St Anne's, Wales. And I'll show you a bit more of the splendour of Buxton. Being a spa town, it has many grand buildings like spa towns seem to have. Bath and Matlock, and I can't think of any others at the moment, but sort of, I don't know, is it Georgian? People come here to fill large containers. We've only got 2 little flasks, but I thought I'd just get some to feed my ginger beer plant. It shows you how hot the summer's been. The water's coming out at 12 degrees, which is weirdly warm.
12 degrees?
Yeah. They're sometimes scary, these bus rides. Look at that. I'm trying to spot public footpaths. Of reservoirs down there. Looks like a nice place to walk. Oh, like roller coasters, these bus rides. Sunday today, and we decided to go out for a walk, and we're going to go and check out the hills that we can see from the back of our boat. It doesn't always have to involve a long journey on a bus and train to get to the beginning of a walk, although it often does. But today we're just heading out, and we're going to go up past a curiosity on the way to Strines station, which is literally in the middle of nowhere, and then on and up over the hill at the back. And I think there's a big disused quarry up there, so we're going to check that out. That's the path down from the boat, and it's directly opposite the path to the station, and up there are the hills where we're going to go and explore today. So Strines back in the day was known for its calico works, and the foreman, the mechanic foreman of the calico works was a Mr. Bruce, and he was obviously a very handy man because he built his own water wheel and he produced his own gas for his house. I don't know how, but he also made this clock, and this clock was on the site of the calico works, and I think it was built in 1809, something like that. And I believe it strikes on the hour, but as it's wrong, because it's actually 5 to 11 now, we're not going to hear it strike today, I don't think. Strines is also known as the home of the railway children. A lot of the film was captured up around this area. This is rather nice, these hollyhocks. Wow, hand blocked on heavy 100% linen. There was a print works here too, where they would print onto the calico using these blocks, and these are some of the designs, which I would say were very arts and crafts period. Definitely. They're rather nice. We're still going up the road to the station. It's definitely not a commuter route. H just said that it's like going back in time here. But I guess the station would have been busy in the days of the mill, which was just around here. Right, our way lies through the tunnel and up the other side. We're halfway up the hill, and we can see the line, the hedge line where the canal is. It's sort of running along there. So when we're up a bit higher, we might be able to see our boat with the binoculars. It's quite a steep ascent up here, very quickly. That's got us puffing. The thing about travelling around the country on a narrowboat is that you get to see places that you would never go to, mainly because you've never heard of them. I mean, who's ever heard of Strines apart from people who live up here? And you get to see things like Bruce's clock that you would never get to see, and it opens the country right out and gives you a much better sense of the history of your country when you're discovering it in such detail as this. Especially if, you know, like me and H, we go out walking or on our bikes all the time, so it's just not the narrow channel running up the side of the canal that we explore, but everything all around as well. That's the thing I like best about this world. And over there, as always this summer, is our now familiar backdrop, the tall buildings of Manchester. Still ascending. Here comes a little hobbit. Hello. We can go up or up. Let's have a look at the map. Mountain biker just came down there and went down there. Oh my god, and it's all scree down there.
And steps.
And steps. Better him than us. Okay, we've decided to go up this way to the quarry. Yeah, well, disappointingly at the top is a golf course. And horses. Where's the quarry? Still not quite at the top, but the views are opening up all around. Wow. It's always worth a climb for a view. This is a very occupied hill in the sense that it's all houses, very nice houses, golf courses and farms. But it's always nice to get up high and see a view. It always lifts you, doesn't it, to see a view? Must be a reason for that. Just spotted a huge cross up there. Oh, I'll have to find out what that's all about. Oh my god, that was treacherous getting up there. Henry's just finding his way up, but we're up by this huge cross. First erected by the Marple District Council of Churches on the 27th of March 1970, replaced 2018. Churches together. It looks out over Manchester with its arms raised, and it's become a bit of a memorial place up here. This must be the quarry around here.
It's a bit quarry-esque.
It does, doesn't it? We've spotted a big plume of smoke coming up over there. I mean, at the moment it looks very contained, and you probably can't see it very well on here, just in the centre of the picture. But up here, at the moment, I don't think anybody's having fires, so I'm not quite sure what that is. Well, we've been watching the fire for about a quarter of an hour, and it's got no bigger or smaller. So we've decided that it's probably contained and on farmland. And we had a chat with a local who wasn't sure, but maybe thought it was as well. After seeing that big fire up on Kinder the other day, it just made me a bit wary, but we're going to leave it and hope we don't come to regret that. Well, if you look, it's a big... I quite like this sign. It's more friendly than a lot of the signs you see.
Yeah.
We're coming towards the end of our walk, and there should be a pub round about here somewhere, which is always nice at the end of a walk. And after that, it's just back down to Strines station and up to the boat again.
Be a pub.
Oh, red umbrellas must signify a pub garden. It's a beautiful cluster of buildings here. Everything's so solid looking up here, probably to withstand their winters, which won't be as benign as our Brighton ones, I guess.
Cheeky. That's what that wall's for then.
1, 2, 3. We're on. Got my foot in there. Right, we're on. 2. Wait, hold on, she's being stubborn.
Those tiles on the roof opposite are the ones that they quarry, aren't they? Weigh a ton.
Yeah. They're probably leftovers.
Yeah. We were just coming back from Marple Bridge, a lovely little discovery actually, along an old back road to get back to the canal, and we suddenly saw all these old earthworks, and it's the old mill at Strines, the old cotton mill, and it's all been recovered because it was all hidden, I think, and they emptied all of the rubbish that had been thrown into the pits here, and it's all open. You can just walk around it. It's so interesting. So the people that worked here would have to take their shoes off, because in those days they would have worn clogs, and the clogs would have had like those, do you remember the Blakeys that used to go into the bottom of the shoe? So they were called clog studs, and they would have caused sparks, so they had to work barefoot so that they didn't cause a fire. And there was so much dust in the air that you'd often cough up blood, so it wasn't a great working environment. And in the end, the mill did burn down anyway, and the whole thing was destroyed in just a few hours because the fire was so fierce.
I don't know, but I wonder if those trenches going that way were for putting stop boards in for some reason, like they do in the canals when they want to
Oh yeah.
stop the flow. Yeah, they may well have done, they would have directed it through either one of those two.
Samuel Oldknow, who owned the mill, would pay his workers in paper money that could only be used at his own shops, and then if he ran out of paper money he would pay them in food and so on. But they were considered to be well fed and well looked after. How times have changed. Well, you have to use your imagination here, but the mill originally was 6 floors high with a big bell tower at the top, and it went down under the ground as well, right down there. Okay, back on the boat, and I've got to finish this video right here before it gets any longer. So I've hoped you've enjoyed exploring with us, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a good week, everyone. Bye for now.